Hey y'all, thanks for stopping by. So, it's another fun day in Trump's world. He's dealing with a court case out of New York State right now, which actually has nothing to do with the January 6th stuff or any election fraud cases. This is a fraud hearing. This has to do with, the nature of the case is lying about the cost of some properties in his Trump business empire to give him better deals with banks, like interest rates and stuff like that. um, Letitia James, who's the presiding judge, is asking for, I believe it was $250 million in damages. I read something in the case that it was $100 million that was profited from, which I'm going to be honest, when numbers start to get that big, it almost just doesn't make sense to me. I don't have hundreds of millions of dollars to spend on business deals and properties and financing. I'm assuming you don't either, but I also kind of feel like, most regular people, like, this is just how we think business works. Like rich people lie so they can get better standings with their friends or with the banks or whatever, so they can do more business and so they can make more money. Like, it's comical and kind of cartoonish, but I feel like that's how regular people think business works. Now, of course, you're not supposed to do that. Honesty and integrity, transparency, like all this stuff is really important. And, we can't lie to the banks. When I got my first car loan, I was unable to tell them I make more money or I already have a certain credit score. Like, they can just look that stuff up for me. So, I do think that should be even handed. Rich people shouldn't be able to get away with financial crimes just because they're rich. And then, this leans into Trump himself. He's been, like, anytime he's been caught up in anything legal, at least for the last few years, this all has to do with, they don't want me to be elected again. This is all a sham and a show because, we can't beat him in the polls or something like that. And whether he wants to feed himself that line of cope is one thing. I just hope that you don't think that's the case. I hope you understand that when people break the law and when they're caught breaking the law, they need to go to court for it. There needs to be justice. If somebody you knew broke the law, wouldn't you want them to see court? Like, do you think there should be a unbalanced court system based on who you're friends with? Because a lot of people make it seem that way, that Trump shouldn't be tried for anything because he's, going in for office again. Like, is that the loophole? Like, should I sign up for like a, state councilman position? That way I can just steal and rob and, assault people and it's fine. I can't get in trouble with anything legally because, oh, it's just a witch hunt. Like, that doesn't make sense. I hope you realize that doesn't make sense either. Trump is going to keep doing this too. I heard it on the radio this morning. He had some press conference outside of the courthouse where he made this comment about how he's not getting a jury trial and how he doesn't think that's fair. But his lawyers asked for him to not have a jury trial. That's on the record. We know that his lawyers, asked for that in this case. So he's lying to the American people to sway favor in his position. This is what the case is about. He's lying about his business dealings to sway favor with the banks. Now he's just doing it to the GOP. Which, I mean, you could say he's been doing that since he's been in the political sphere, but, let's just focus on this court case. And really all of his court cases. He plays people like a fiddle. He moves with one hand and speaks with the other. This is two-faced behavior. And this isn't me, trying to just because I don't like Trump. No, if you break the law, you should face justice. I don't care who you vote for, I don't care what color shoes you wear. That doesn't matter. The justice is blind and it should stay that way. But I know there are people who will swear up and down that this is only because, he's running against Biden, or only because, he spoke truth to power, which is the stupidest thing I hear from Trump sycophants. Like, you act like he's standing up for the little guy when he is a multi-billionaire, albeit we don't really know that for sure with the whole fraud stuff going on, but Sure, he's really looking out for the working class. That's why he raised your taxes. It's all ridiculous. Trump fans are so funny to me, and I'm sure we'll hear more about this in our social media feeds and through other commentary channels. So if you want a good laugh, check those out. And I guess until the next time, y'all try to have a good day.